My anxiety had me convinced my entire life was happening inside my head. Like I didn't do much because I was just overthinking everything. So I started giving myself random side quests just to see if, anything would actually happen. And turns out it did. Hi, I'm Christina and I want to make my life more fun.
Hi, I'm Christina. Hi, I am 28 years old. And I feel like I'm living the life of a person who is much older, like a grandma, who, used to have a lot of big dreams in her life, but didn't do them because she was too worried. And I don't want that. I want to feel more. I want to live more because I am somebody who wants to do a lot of cool things with her life. I wanna, travel, meet new people, try out new things. But I tend to overthink everything and then I don't do it because it seems then undoable or impossible or, a waste of time. So anyway, it is time to bring back some fun into my life. So I made a list of fun things to do. I like to call them side quests that bring her onto new paths she never thought she would end up on. I wrote them all down here and I already did try some of them, so I do feel confident to share them with you. Take what you want, leave what you don't. Anyway, I would say we go from low involvement, things you can do when you're like running rather low on energy, to like very, you're full of energy, you're so motivated, so we can choose, which activity to choose on what specific day. Okay, let's go. Okay, so lowest involvement, when you have just this little ounce of energy left in your tank and you're like aiming to grab the phone, you're like, no, I'm rather gonna break up a book I've been meaning to read for a very long time. That's been sitting on my shelf for a very long while. It's looking very pretty up there, but I bought it for a reason. It does take discipline, but once you get like more in the rhythm, it feels very life enhancing. I can very much recommend it. Let me share with you some of my favorite books I'm reading at the moment. Now I'm thinking I could have prepared this a bit better, but live and learn. Okay, one more. So if you have a book of choice, great. If you don't, I have 3 favorite books at the moment. Okay, first one, this is what I'm reading actually right now. It's called The Relaxed Woman. Because in case you couldn't tell, I would like to be a bit of a more relaxed woman. Relaxed enough to enjoy her life. So I'm reading that. It's very great. It has actually also a lot of like examples. Rest and reflect. It's like great. I learned so much about myself. It's not as easy as taking the phone, but I think it's the second best thing I can come up with. Similar to that, Women Living Deliciously. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. I love this one. And I'm like, okay, Christina, you can't just always read to be more productive, read to learn more. So I started reading Harry Potter. Before I go to bed, instead of watching something, I read Harry Potter and it makes me happy. I feel like it's like a healthier way of escapism. I don't know. Okay. Next, start a new hobby. Anything, literally anything. This is kind of an insecurity of me. I feel like everybody else has a passion, a hobby since their childhood. And they're now really good at it because they've been doing it since they're a child. Well, I don't really have that. I don't know, nothing ever really stuck with me. I tried instruments, dancing, anything creative like painting, pottery. And I enjoyed it for a while, very much. And then I was just like, no. But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, Don't try to overthink it. Just try the first thing that comes to mind. Then you can still see if it's fun or not. What I've been loving, I was just kind of going back. Okay, what did I used to halfway enjoy as a kid? And I love dancing. I went dancing. I even made a video about that. I started going to dance classes again and it's fun. It's not gonna be my thing, my passion, but it's just fun. I feel like it's adding more pieces to my puzzle piece of me. It gives more confidence. I don't know. So dancing is very up high on that list. Also, I got myself some air dry clay. Let me show you what I did with that. Okay, I started making just some figurines. Crafting something with your hands, super nice. I'm working on something really cool right now. When I'm working and reading, I'm wearing glasses. And I've seen this in one of Emma Chamberlain's podcasts, a little tray for my glasses. I can just, when I'm taking a break from work, I don't need to just drop them on the table. I'm gonna make a specific holding device. I even made a nose. So this is just what I'm doing. Again, just really chill random things and then I see if I like them or if I don't like them. So far, I like them. Try anything, really anything. Something comes to your mind right now, give it a try. You can always drop it again. Okay, going back to work. You know, it's just part of our life, that's fine. But I think we can make it more fun. And what I like to do, I like to combine a side quest with my work. So what do? I tried all of the cafes like in my area, and then I went to every cafe and I tried out which one is my favorite one to work. Things I look for in my cafe of choice. Of course, this depends on your personality, but I'm somebody, I get overstimulated very easily. So I like cozy cafes where it's not too much music blasting, but also not too silent. So like you still have some people walking around. I do some people watching. I get more ideas. Comfy seats. It's fun, you know, just to explore the neighborhood, see what's out there, expose yourself to new environments, new people, and then you just get your work done there. What I really found fascinating, a lot of like operas, theaters have this like under 30 youth discount on cultural experiences. I literally paid 15 euros and I just was like in this beautiful hall and I got dressed up for it. For who? For myself. And I just sat there and watched the play. I was so proud after I came up with that. You know what is the best thing you can do? Most fun way to find out more what you're interested in. Okay, you go to your bookstore or to a library and you let yourself wander around, you know, look at all the topics, and then you just go to the shelves with the topic that inspires you, that like draws you in. You know, this can be random things. This is how I found out that I'm interested in medicine, in like the human body, in like anatomy. I was walking past the uni books and there was one section on medicine, human anatomy, and I was so intrigued by it. I wanted to see what books they have, and I got that book. Did I ever think that I'm gonna get myself this book in my life? No. It doesn't mean like you need to get all of those books then. I don't know, spend a bit of time there, read a bit there, get them from a library. That was very cool to find out. Know that there are more things to you than you might think, and more interests to you than you might think there are. That was fun. Okay, now, you know, spring is coming up. One thing that reminds me of just being, you know, like in a movie. I've done this last year on a small scale, but now I want to do it on a bigger scale. Let me just tell you what it is so you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about going to your local farmer's market and just getting local produce that's in season, that smells really good, that's super fresh, and that, you know, it's just that you like, of course. You know, go with your little basket, one of your favorite tote bags, don't save it, just take it with you. You pick and choose the pieces you want to have, and then you go home, then you make a nice meal with that produce. That is one of the most beautiful and like holistic, wholesome things I've done last summer. I remember I made like a really nice summer salad. So I got like tomatoes, really sweet ones, cucumber, peaches, and then I got some cheese in there, and I kid you not, it tasted 10 times better. I don't know, this is something that is stored in my core memories. Okay, that's it, what I came up now with of side quests. In our 20s, actually whenever, but I feel like in our 20s, a lot of people feel a bit stuck, you know, we feel a bit stuck and like, I don't know, it's a lot of pressure. At least I feel a lot of pressure. And like the older I get, you know, that like this, I need to have it all figured out and like to know what I'm doing with my life and, you know, to be like really secure in yourself. But like, I think we have time to figure everything out. And I know that like being productive is super important, and I'm really not saying it's not, but at least for myself, I'm very prone to toxic productivity. So, you know, just having some side quests, it's really good for me. Next thing I want to try actually right now is I want to edit this video, and I don't want to do it here. I'm trying out something new. I want to try a library this time and see what's the vibe there. You can come along if you want to. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate that you're here and that you're listening to me, that you're spending time with me. And yeah, if you have some more ideas, you know, things you heard, things you tried, of some side quests, just leave them in the comments. Let's collect them, and then I can make another video and, you know, talk through them, share them with you. Love you, bye!
I just wanna go out and walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out and walk with you.